All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight we have the Dark Horse Area 51 IndyCar Series here at Kentucky Speedway. Drivers putting down their qualifying laps as we speak to put down their starting positions for tonight's race. We are working on race number 9 of 12, so after tonight, 3 more to go, which will be at Pocono Twin Ring Motegi and finish it off over at Phoenix Raceway. But right now, qualifying the name of the game here, looks like about 20 cars, it looks like possibly taking grid here this evening. But we will do first off, though, of course, is, again, 125 laps tonight. I'll say track temperature should be no issue with it being in the evening right now, showing 75 degrees ambient, track temperature at 73, so no issues there. And then, of course, got to bring up the points, though, because right now with that big win last week, Nick DeGroot able to sneak away a little further away from Craig Forsyth. Andrew Wood now 35-39 points for those top 3. And then you can see they've kind of separated themselves from Matt Wagner now up into 4th. Again, this does account for 1 drop week, so they've had the 8 starts, so showing their best 7 out of their 8 races. So I'll say that's always going to kind of continuously ebb and flow over the remainder of the season. We had some pretty good storylines, though, last week with Nick DeGroot's win, though. Say a very impressive podium for Luis Gonzalez-Nunez, Joseph Grijalva as well getting a podium. So some new names, new faces in that top 3, so we'll see if we can get a similar result here tonight. Say Boomer out and about having to take care of some real life stuff, so I was able to wrangle in one of my good buddies, Chris Matthews. So Chris, again, pleasure to have you back over here. And I say it's going to be an interesting one. I say Kentucky kind of got that really fast turn 1, slow turn number 3 and 4. I think 3 and 4 is going to be the question mark, though. Yeah, I think that's going to be the place to make the passes tonight. Because, I mean, if you've got clean air on that front wing, 1 and 2, you should be pretty much matted to the floor here tonight.
Oh, definitely. Great to be back here, and awesome to see the Indy cars at this track. It's very interesting to see how different these cars run compared to when normally I'm a Cup guy. I watch NASCAR, do NASCAR, but very interesting to see how these guys do. And I'm already seeing a lot of different lines going into the corner. But looking at the qualifying times, I think everyone's underneath a minute right now.
Yeah,
sorry, a second.
Oh yeah, we've got a really close qualifying time. You're right, I say, because right now our poll showing a 24:33, and then all the way back to 9th is a 24:77. So yeah, just a 10th and a half right now between 1st and 9th. As they're on say, still a few drivers. I see a few drivers maybe opting away just a few laps or a few minutes, I should say, make their laps later in the session. Maybe try to hope to see if they can steal maybe just like a slight drop in degree. Maybe make that engine a little happier, sing a little louder, and try to make a faster lap time, or maybe just make a quick bathroom break before they put down their qualifying laps. So we'll see if they can do anything to bump off our top spot at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see here tonight, Chris. But yeah, so fuel mileage is going to be an interesting one too, though. I was hearing with the 125 laps, hearing probably around low 40s on the fuel numbers. So say to me, that means the magic number is going to be about 42 laps, I think, for, in that range to be able to make it to the end on 2 stops. Again, all based on things going green to the end, of course. Of course, a caution will throw everything out of whack. So I'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. And I believe that's going to... Everybody's put down a lap that was going to put a lap down, it's looking like here. So it looks like we have 14 drivers opting to put a lap down and about 3 drivers opting not to. So actually it looks like about 17 cars from what I'm seeing here possibly tonight. So a little shorter field once again, but I say again, I think that may not be a bad thing for as tricky as this track is going to be. Is I think clean air definitely going to be important. So we're going to see a lot of drivers, especially 3 and 4, are going to be moving all over that turn there to try to find anywhere and everywhere to get that fresh air on that front wing.
Yeah, and watching these guys in practice a little bit earlier, they were going 3 wide already. So for them to do that in practice and get a little bit more comfortable with themselves is going to make this race very, very tight. Hopefully the strategy kind of plays out for somebody, but I think you can have multiple strategies, and we'll see which one's going to prevail tonight.
Yeah, so it definitely will be interesting to see what the approach is. So we'll pull up our starting grid for tonight, as it looks like it's going to be Matt Wagner on the pole. They're able to jump over Nick DeGroot late by just over 100th of a second in the A9. Then you got Eric Peterson, Luis Gonzalez-Nunez, Craig Forsyth, our top 5. Then Jeff Heisong, Yari Brupacher, Andrew Wood in 8th. Joseph Grijalva and Jim Herrick 9th and 10th. And then you go back down to Don Hunter in 11th. Dan Marrera there in 12th. And then continue down the order. Jim Brooks 13th, Gary Corley, Joseph Morales, Jason Hand, and Taylor Reeves will be our 17th starter here this evening. So Right off the bat, though, I'm going to say probably, honestly, a good move, or not a good move, but I say a good result for Matt Wagner getting that pole position here, because it steals a bonus point away from Nick DeGroot. That's going to be, say, for some of those guys, let's say the best friend of Matt Wagner's are going to be drivers like Craig Forsyth, Andrew Wood. That would say, okay, hey, it's one less bonus point that number 89 was able to snag here tonight. So I think that is going to come into play in that latter stages of the season, is getting all of those bonus points accounted for.
Yeah, these cars are going to roll off here. I think they're going to try to figure out their strategy from the get-go, where you might have some guys that just want to kind of lay back. They might be in the front, but they're going to let some cars pass them just so they can either save tires or just feel out the crowd. And you might have some guys in the back that didn't take any practice time, or sorry, qualifying time, and they might just try to see what they got up front and see what they got to, you know, adjust on the fly. But I think this race is going to really kind of figure itself out within the first 5 or 10 laps.
Yeah, that's a really good point, is the adjustments, actually, and that is, again, I say these Indy cars have a lot of adjustability in them, be it the weight jackers, the ARB front and rear, and of course the fuel mixture as well for potential from some fuel strategy. You might even see some guys just laying back and just maybe trying to run this thing as lean as they can while staying in the main pack. So that's going to be another thing to watch here as well. Definitely want to welcome Joe Grijalva. Say I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's probably rooting for Joseph Grijalva in that 47 car. So definitely good to see you on here. Welcome. And he's saying El Paso ready to go. So, and go Army. So really cool to have you over here, and definitely appreciate you checking in. And we'll definitely be sure to keep an eye on that number 47 throughout the course of tonight.
Hey, I know whenever I go back home to Texas, I definitely stop in El Paso whenever I have a chance to go back down there. So there we go. That's neat to know. It's a small world with sim racing. So hey, go Joseph.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun to say. Like you said, there's just, you never know who and where you're going to run into some people here tonight. So in the leagues, let's say, and again, I mean, making friendships. I mean, I know there's even some business partnerships that have kind of come up across through this, as well as some drivers actually working together, the same company, just kind of through the racing, kind of happened after the fact. So pretty wild the way those things work out. So we'll see what we got going in store for us tonight. Again, initial start will be on green, so watch Matt Wagner. I think we'll see him definitely hug that yellow line right off the bat. Keep that car as low as you can. But I do watch, though, let's see if they have a little bit of a hiccup, though, because again, these cars are going to have cold tires, and it's going to be not fully up to speed for that downforce to kick in all the way too. So I think turn 1 and 2 here, getting up to speed is going to be concerning. And of course, everybody's going to get packed up in turn 3 as we get underway here. 125 laps are race distance this evening.
A little bit even on the front row there, but as we see Matt Wagner kind of take the inside line, and I think, what was that, Nick? Going to get right up there too.
Yeah, so yeah, Nick DeGroot there on the outside line. He's going to try to make the high line work here. Matt Wagner, yeah, he's going to, actually contact Nick DeGroot, our championship leader. He's in the wall, and he's got suspension damage, and so far no yellow. He's got to make a hard left onto pit road. That is going to be a tough one to overcome here early. He's going to need a yellow there, but so we'll try to go back one more time here, see if we can get a better look to see what happened to Nick entering turn number 3 in that number 89 machine. So we'll pick up the pace a little bit here and watch once again from that number 89. And right in front of him, actually, I think that may have been Craig Forsyth. He got maybe a little tight there, had to back out of it, and unfortunately just Nick got into the back of him. So and actually, I think Craig Forsyth may be also in the same boat here also. Yeah, here comes Craig Forsyth on pit road as well. So 2 of our 3 championship contenders here, Chris, on lap number 1 and 2, already having big troubles here, already down a lap as well. So now it's going to be maybe a big opportunity for Andrew Wood. Can he make big advantage of this here? Again, still lots of racing to go. But again, with now both these drivers a lap down here, this really shakes things up.
Yeah, very exciting start to it. Unfortunately, those 2 guys got together. It looked like he did get a little bit tight, and there's just nowhere for Nick to go. But as we see, Erica really hounding down Matt Wagner here going into the turn. So he's trying to take the high line, kind of just trying to test the waters here. I think once they get the adjustments, that high line is going to really be a big factor tonight.
Yeah, no, I think you want to keep that momentum built up top, and that's going to be their questions to kind of figure out when and where you want to make these moves. Because again, 1 and 2, your foot to the floor. 3 and 4, there's going to be a little bit of lifting involved. And let's actually roll back to the 3rd place, Yari Brewparker. Let's hop on board and let's listen into what he's doing on the throttle position here. because I say he's going to be in a little bit of dirtier, so we can get a good view of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be very weird for him because he, you know, right now the cars up front, they're running one down low, one up high, so he's really gonna get dirty air wherever he goes. So he really has to kind of figure out how to get his line working correctly, and then once he gets to a position where he wants to pass, he has to change everything all over again.
Yeah, and you saw right there, yeah, definitely backs it down, actually drops a gear from 6th to 5th as well, then brings it back, actually stays in 5th all the way through turn 1 here, and you can see. And yeah, it looks like able to pretty much keep it matted. Maybe has to roll out of it just a tiny bit, but yeah, right now though, so I think also a little bit of strategy because we talked about before those front 2 cars. They can kind of just jump each front of each other, do that leapfrog if you will, kind of keep the pace of the race up. And it really allows that 3rd car, which in this case right now being Jari Brubacher, just kind of can go full fuel save and just kind of use both of their drafts. But of course, he's going to get the dirty air of both of those front cars in front of him. But right now, so even with these guys jumping like the Yari, and so Yari, I think heard me say, you know what, I'm gonna go for it here, as he sent it into turn number 3 there. And yeah, you can see he definitely had to roll out of it there not to get into Eric Peterson, but he's actually been able to dispatch Matt Wagner from that runner-up spot, so now move Yari up into 2nd.
Yeah, and all it's going to take is really one good hiccup, and I think you can have somebody all the way from 6th come all the way up to 1st. Just looking at how these guys are racing, you get really good draft down the backstretch, and once you get into 3 and 4, you have to drive it very differently. So you aren't fully in the gas all the way, or at least you have to change gears and figure out what's going on. So watching these guys get these runs all the way from about probably half a second back is very interesting to see.
Yeah, and so right now, so we've pretty much got the top 10 pretty much all packed in on each other right now. The one that's just cruising a little bit off the back is that 51 of Jim Brooks. He's got about a second back to the 26 of Dan Morera. I think that's saying, I talked to Jim a little bit pre-race, and he mentioned, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to kind of take it easy here and kind of let them dice it up, just because he was saying, based on practice, it was looking like it was going to be pretty treacherous. As I say, it's also a little treacherous when that car in front of you disappears for a split second there. So I think he's kind of doing a little bit of a combo of fuel save, but then also try to keep that car clean in a good position. So, and he's doing exactly what he kind of talked about pre-race. So it'll be interesting to see how his race.
Oh, a little bit of a wreck there. He's coming around.
Oh yeah, Jari Brubacher around. Big hit for that number 49. Also includes the 7 there of Gary Corley, and unfortunately, I think I may have saw the 47 get. Yeah, 47 Joseph Grijalva. He got a pretty solid piece as well. So that's going to put us under yellow. That's going to be a huge opportunity here, as I believe Nick DeGroot's going to be our wave around car. He was the first car one down, Chris. But yeah, let's go back and take a look to see what happened here, unfortunately. It was right up at the front of the field, kind of while we were watching what was going on towards the front there. So let's pick it up a little bit here. I think it might be a lap behind, so we'll take a closer look, though.
Looked like there was just a little bit of a case of not knowing where the car in front was going to go for Jari, and Jari kind of just got into the back of Andrew there, and then he had to check up, and then I think that just kind of busted his tires in his wing, and he just lost all aerodynamicy.
Yeah, so I say went back one lap too far, so we'll get a good look at it here as they come into turn 3. This is the lap that happened, and yeah, you saw right there, just really kind of misjudged it. Wasn't sure where Andrew was going. He went low, and then yeah, you see the 15 Joseph Gonzalez Nunez. He may have actually got a little piece of the wall as well, and then unfortunately, there's the 47. Tried to avoid it, nothing he could do. Oh, and actually need to mention right there, you also see that Black Rifle Company car. I believe that was the 18 of Jeff Heisong. Also catching a piece of that one as well, unfortunately. So you see a few other guys there just sneaking by there as well, though. But yeah, so unfortunately that's going to bring a yellow. It's definitely going to put some drivers in the fast repair situation, if not having to take a tow onto pit road. But we have some, say, it looks like pretty much everybody on pit road already taking their service. Gary Corley, say he came in before pit road was open, so he's going to get waved around, but it looks like Andrew Wood will win the race out of pit road. And of course, need to mention strategy-wise, Craig Forsyth, he stays out here, Chris. As he, I say broadcast is Matt on Mondays or on Sundays, but yeah. So Craig's gonna stay out here. He's gonna take the wave round to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, if you will. As we had mentioned, Nick DeGroot able to get his lap back there on the wave around. So that brings Nick right back into the mix. Of course, minus a fast repair for the 89. So I think that's going to be the story of the night now, though, is kind of who doesn't have one in the bank anymore. because we know the 89 doesn't have one anymore. We know the 27 is out of his. Unfortunately, the 47 Joseph Grijalva, he had to burn his as well, as he got into that incident as well. And then, of course, Yari Brupacher, and then the 18 most likely of Jeff Hysong. So a good number of the field here. And actually, surprisingly, need to mention Craig Forsyth on pit road, so opted to stay out. Or I thought he was staying out, but he actually jumps onto pit road here. So he actually will stay trapped one lap down here, which is going to put him in competition with Jeff Hysong, because Jeff also trapped a lap down. And right now, Yari, I believe, is still sitting on pit road, possibly going to fall, I believe, to at least 2 down. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough start for those guys. And, yeah, like you mentioned, though, Chris, too, for Andrew Wood, though, possibly a bullet dodge there, because, again, I mean, he was right in that thick of it where that contact initiated, but able to keep that car in good shape.
Yeah, and while there wasn't really that many cars that you know, we wouldn't really call that a big one in other series, but for everyone that kind of had a little bit of minor damage, these cars are honestly just like airplanes where they can't take no damage at all. If you lose a bit of a wing or a bit of the side pod, you're gonna have a real bad time. You're probably gonna end up on the green wall, or you're gonna hit all the way down to the white wall. But your car definitely won't stay straight.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a lucky break if it's just front wing damage, because there, yeah, you can just get a front wing replaced and not use the fast repair. But more often than not with these Indy cars, yeah, if you get damaged, it's gonna be a fast repair required if you want to have any sort of speed. So, but yeah, this is gonna shake up the field a little bit, like I mentioned. Obviously, Andrew Wood is gonna cycle back to the lead. Matt Wagner started on pole. He's going to be in second. Eric Peterson and Luis Gonzalez right where they qualified, third and fourth. Then you see the right behind them, the 01 of Don Hunter here. Looks like he's going to be in the top 5 there. So yeah, so like I said, everything kind of shaking up a little bit there. And I got to say, I'm loving the paint scheme on that 05, the Speed Racer Mach 1. So definitely some childhood memories brought back on that one. So definitely a shout out to whoever painted that 01 car, enjoying that one.
Definitely needs to keep that for the rest of the season. That's one that you want to, you know, those hero cars that you see if you go to your local track. That's something I would want from that car right there.
Yeah, exactly right. So looks like lights are off. The pace car, Chris, going to restart this thing on lap 16. So again, need to mention, it looks like 14 drivers still on the lead lap, from Andrew Wood back to Jason Hand. Craig Forsyth, Jeff Hysong 1 lap down. Yari Brupacher, unfortunately, 2 down in that 49. So again, I say that right now, that's going to be I think the race is going to be between the 27 and the 18 to see who can get stay in that position if we get that timely yellow. But they are mired back in traffic here. So this restart, though, hands right into the hands of Andrew Wood. He has full control here. Again, Matt's going to have to respond as quickly as he can on the throttle, because he can, as soon as that pace car's off, there's no restart zone here with this league. So basically, once that pace car's off the racing surface, it's fair game for Andrew.
Yeah, and you can see the restarts here a little bit weird, where everyone kind of just starts up top, but you can get a lot of bad checkups going on here. But it looks like Andrew's able to get away pretty nicely. Matt's following closely behind, and we'll see probably by lap 2, everyone's going to be right back to side-by-side. They're a little bit, you know, adjacent racing.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. It takes about a lap to kind of get that draft to pull back in, and then, yeah, everybody's right back after one another. So, I say the main goal, like I said, is, yeah, just stay within about a second or so. You'll get the draft, and, yeah, you'll pull right back up again. So, I say Andrew did a good job. Matt, of course, able to hang right with him. And, again, though, this is going to be that initial lap. Just try to keep the tires happy. I say they're going to take a little bit to get the temperatures back up. As you can see, actually, Gary Corley, so he's in the danger zone of losing this draft in front of him right now. He's about 1.4 seconds from that from Craig Forsyth in front. I think he'll be close enough that he'll grab right back in on this one, but still keeping an eye on Craig Forsyth, who's about a second and a half over Jeff Hysong. There's Craig coming out of 4, and there's the 18 right behind. So they got a little bit of margin between them, but right up front, though, it looks like Matt Wagner, Andrew Wood, though, looks like they're going to probably try to work together here again and stretch that field out. And I think at this point now, Chris, fuel strategy, I think it's out the window. I think at this point, these guys, it's a 2-stop race no matter what.
Yeah, the math definitely checks out there. The guys here, you know, battling for fifth and 6th, they're kind of going to hold everybody up, and they might actually let Don Hunter get away and stay on this front pack here. But these guys battling, they might just need to figure out some strategy, because they're gonna have to, you know, they're gonna be a couple seconds back now.
Yeah, this is a pretty big gaggle right there with those guys, and you're right, so they just kind of got to get it settled out that way they can get back after it. So I think Joseph Grijalva probably driving with a little bit of frustration behind that 47, just saying like, man, I lost all that track position, getting caught up in it. And so I think he just wants to get back up front and get back in that kind of that cleaner air and get a little bit safer spot. So, I mean, once he's done it, he's cleared the 41 of Taylor Reeves. He's still got enough, I think, where he's going to be able to tag the draft off of Don Hunter. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to kind of keep protection from that Coast Guard machine on the outside line there. And you see, yeah, big checkup for that 41 on the outside. That's going to give a lot of breathing room to Joseph here. As we'll say, we'll look at the lap times, and yeah, 24:42, which was about 2/10 quicker than the leaders there. So yeah, definitely getting some good draft there out of that 47.
Yeah, we got a lot of action everywhere. We got action up front, we got action in the mid-pack, and we even got action in the back. But I think I just saw Matt get passed by both Luis and Eric Peterson, and I think Eric is trying to go back for the lead. He's had a couple moves to the outside. He seems to really nail that one down right after 3 and 4. So let's see what he has on this lap right here.
Yeah, so Eric Peterson, I feel like if you're going to want to pass, you're going to have to be down low in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, though, I think you might be able to keep that momentum built up on the outside of 3 and 4. Because you can see he was just about able to say there's the crossover out of 4. So I think later on the race we'll definitely see the 64 protect that inside line on the exit. But I say right now I don't think he's too worried about that as of yet. But yeah, Eric definitely stepping it up here. I say he's been really fast these last couple weeks. I say hasn't had the luck to show for it. But he's starting to definitely stay. I think he's starting to ramp that aggression up, because I think he's realized just kind of saving fuel and just kind of waiting and biding his time hasn't been working. So he's decided to kind of turn that dial up a little bit here, and it looks like it's so far so good for that 36 car.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a lesson for Andrew to learn right there. He just got a little bit of a taste of that outside pass and got crossed over there. So I think he's gonna remember that one in the books at the end of this race.
And that's the thing is, and you saw right there, you could pretty much see Andrew just trying to guess where is Eric going to position that car, because yeah, you just got to make the right move. Actually, we got the one car on pit road. I don't think that was a scheduled. Oh no, it's not. Taylor Reeves, heavy damage. The front wing gone on that 41. Looks like some left front suspension damage as well. So unfortunately, something went wrong there for that number 41. I'll see him go back and try to get a quick look. Oh, he's already drifting that thing through the turn.
Yeah, I believe he caught a bit of the apron and just kind of swung it around.
Yeah, saying apron bed is always the name of the game there, and yeah, it's pretty heavy contact all that front. So that's going to definitely be also another fast repair if he still has one in store. So that's going to drop another car here, at least one down. So again, we talked about for Craig Forsyth, Jeff Heisong, Yari Brupacher, again, it's just going to make their jobs a little more difficult to try to stay as that first car on one down here. So. But you're right, though. So far, though, Eric Peterson, he's held pretty steady here, controlling the lead of this race. Matt Wagner mentioned he is starting to drop back a little bit. Chris, wonder if maybe had a little bit of a contact with the wall of that car, maybe just not quite handling, or maybe Matt just kind of trying to back it down and just keep that thing in where he feels comfortable with it. So we'll have to keep an eye as he's continuing on right now, because he's getting under pretty heavy pressure from that 47 of Joseph Grijalva. He tried to make it look earlier, couldn't make it happen, but Joseph's going to keep after it here.
Yeah, and I think for Matt, I think he's really just trying to figure out where his car feels best. Obviously, he can stay with the pack, but as far as him closing up on some cars, he might be having a little bit of trouble. So he's just kind of trying to figure things out. But it's not really a bad place to be, kind of sitting in the back. As long as you still got the draft and everything, you can honestly just kind of play your own race, figure out your own strategy, and maybe even save a little bit if you really need to.
And that's actually a good point, because right now our championship leader coming to tonight, Nick DeGroot, he is about 2.2 seconds off the back of Jim Herrick, just in reaching distance possibly of grabbing that draft again. So he's gonna have to hustle that car to get back up to them, because again, you don't want to be too far back. Clean air is good and all, but you don't want it to be 2 seconds behind 7th place. So Nick's going to have to get some big lap times in, and right now he's definitely trying to do so. He's running a 24:67. Jim Herrick was a 24:72, so just a tiny bit faster. Like I said, once you get into that magical about 1.5 second mark, it's just like that thing just grabs another gear, and that air just pulls you straight along. So for the rest of those guys behind him, Gary Corley, Jim Brooks right there, also Yari Brupacher in that mix, Craig Forsyth. They're just going to try to, I think, kind of just tag onto that air of that United Nick DeGroot and try to kind of chase them back down. But up front, though, Eric Peterson, he's still trying to control this race as best as he can. And I think like 2 laps ago, Chris, we were concerned about Matt Wagner. He's back up into 3rd.
Yeah, they had a little bit of action a couple laps ago, but that's a weird thing here. As we were almost getting 3 wide into the corner, these guys are anyone that's been third and fourth has really kind of gotten a little bit of a blowback from the two cars up front, and then fourth and fifth is honestly just kind of gapped, you know, whoever's in third. So with that big switch, I think we saw the 05 was up there about 2 laps ago. Now he's sitting around 6th or 7th.
Yeah, so everything's jumping around pretty aggressively right now. I think Jim Herrick is just kind of cruise controlling now in that 4D Raceware number 40 car. So I think he's kind of doing what we talked about, just kind of riding, cruising, saying I think just trying to take care of his stuff and keep that car in a safe position here. Because right now you see up in front there, you saw Eric Peterson running way up top there in 3 and 4 there. Matt Wagner almost had an opportunity to try to sneak by, but you see there's the momentum though. You can see there, Jim almost was able to clear Don Hunter there, but again though, through here in 1 and 2, that inside line most likely will prevail. Ooh, but a big push on the exit from that 01 car. So yeah, so these guys are starting to get dicey even a little bit further back right here.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit more bolder moves or a little bit more older tires, so it might not work out too much. There's a balance here.
Yeah, you see right now Taylor Reeves in the 41. And so he again, unfortunately, 2 down from that incident he had in 3 and 4 a few laps back. Got to pit road, got the fast red taken. Is trapped 2 down, a little bit off sequence on fuel. He's got probably about 12 more laps of fuel in the rest of the field here. So I think for Taylor, I think he does exactly what he's doing right here. He just stayed just off the back of this group. Oh, safe as I said that Jim Herrick, you see him get loose.
Oh no!
He goes around, but saves. Oh no, almost had it saved, but he's gonna make contact with the inside pit wall. Of course, obviously, gonna be an unsafe pit entry as well. I'll say that car just snapped on pit entry. I'll say we'll back it up one more time and take a look at speed. And yeah, that car just got straight loose on him, and unfortunately, just almost had it saved, and just that one little overcorrection.
Oh yeah, another car. We got Jason Hand.
Jason Hand on pit road. And yeah, I think that may have been the same thing. Off track came back on. Let's go back and look. It looks like these cars. Yeah, look at that. Same thing here, Chris. These guys are starting to get a little evil. Almost had it, and then oh man, that thing did some pretty big off-roading there, but. Looks like I think keeps it off the inside wall here, and just he says, you know what, I'm gonna go hit pit road while I'm at it. So yeah, so we're gonna jump back live because things are, like I said, are kicking off in a big fashion, a very fast, quick way here. As now we're down to 11 cars on the lead lap now with what's going on, and unfortunately, it looks like the 00 of Jason Hand may have retired from the event after that off-road excursion there. But yeah, it looks like these cars are starting to get a little treacherous here. Like I said, the fuel burning off these cars right now. They're on 38, lap 38 here, pitted about 26 laps ago, Chris. So they can still go probably another 14, 15 laps or so on fuel. But the way these cars are running, maybe it's going to be a safer bet to try to maybe hedge your bets and maybe pit a little earlier if your car is going to start getting loose like it's been for some of these guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be very weird to see because the tires might give out before the fuel gives out. So we've already seen a couple cars go off just out of turn 4. It might have been, you know, driver error, but it also looks like there's a little bit of a kick up right out of 4 where these guys are kind of just getting loose, and there's not really much saving, even though you're going all the way down pits. But even when you do that, you're going to get another double whammy with a pit penalty. So these guys might need to either back it off or get the car a little bit straight and not really focus on passing each other.
Yes, and that might be exactly it, just back down. And this might even be a thing where dirtier might be a benefit, honestly, here, Chris. So, I mean, you look again right now, Joseph Hall, but kind of cruising right now in the back of this lead pack in 5th. I mean, maybe having that dirty air from the 6 of Matt Wagner to the 15 of Luis Gonzalez, maybe that little bit of dirty air actually helps you a little bit where, say, it just kind of tightens that car up a little bit so it doesn't have that snappy feel to it. Driver to mention, though, right now, who's definitely making moves. We talked about Nick DeGroot, who's going to have to try to hustle back up there. It's exactly what he's done. He's worked his way back up to 6, and he's actually been able to separate himself from that second pack that we had talked about. As right now, Jim Brooks is the next in line for position, but he's about 4 seconds off there. I think it's Craig Forsyth that's actually leading this pack right now. But there's the battle, though. That's the Lucky Dog battle right here, though, Chris. Also, Craig Forsyth, Jeff Heisong, both 1 down, and they are just right now, actually side by side entering 1.
Oh, it's going to get crazy here in a couple minutes when these guys catch up to him.
Yeah, so you see now, let's say Craig is going to try to cross him over, get back low, entering 3, because again, you don't know if that yellow comes out, when it's going to come out. We've seen already 2 cars spin out, but able to keep it pointed straight enough until they got to pit road, and so that saved the caution from coming out. So they know how important this battle is for this lucky dog position as they go on. Right now, they're the only ones in any real danger, because right now the last car in lead lap is only 7 seconds off the lead, and that's the 26 of Dan Morera. So I say not at real any threat right now, just kind of cruising at the back of the second pack right now. But yeah, Nick DeGroot, though, he's worked his way up to 6th right now in that A9. He's trying to chase down. Next will be that 47 of Joseph Grijalva. And right now he's just on, again, right on the outskirts, about 1.5 seconds right on the, trying to get to that draft window. But we're getting close to that pit window, though, I think, here, Chris.
Yeah, oh, we saw a little bit of a swing there by Jeff and Yari over there. Sorry, Jeff and Craig, and they're still close. These guys are battling. He's in 3rd. But good save right there.
Wow, I don't know how he hung onto that car, but again, we talked about that. You want the yellow, you don't want to be the yellow, and that's how hard Jeff Hyasong was racing. He knew that was the lucky dog battle. He's going to have to give that thing a lap or 2 for those tires to kind of get back, because you know those tires are going to be angry from having to save that car like he did. But yeah, right now, I think this is just kind of a survival mode for a handful of these drivers, because, yeah, these things look like they are definitely just a handful, to put it nicely. As you see, here comes the 47. He's going to try to work Matt Wagner down low in 2. Couldn't quite get there. But he's going to maybe have another opportunity here in 3. Just got to figure out, again, go where they are or not. Matt ran kind of the middle lane. Joseph ran lower, and he's going to get a good exit out of 4. We'll see if he can do anything with it.
Yeah, I think these guys are definitely pushing a little bit hard. They still got to find that limit, but the racing's still good here. We got Matt and Joseph right now just kind of battling it out. And in the lead, it looked like it kind of just staved off a little bit. I know they're still kind of going at it, but it seems like they've tried to calm down their racing with about, I don't know, about 15 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, I think that's just about right. Yeah, because again, pitted at lap number 12. We talked about them going to probably about 40. So yeah, that would get us, yeah, about that lap 55 maybe mark on the outside edge of the fuel window. So the question will be, does anybody maybe consider short pitting in these cars? But again, I think with these drivers nearly spinning out on their own here, I think you want to go as long as you can. You just do not want to get trapped by an untimely yellow. So it's going to be fun to see. Do need to mention Nick. You'll see him in the background right there. He is about a second now off the back of that 47, so he is slowly but surely closing. But man, we got 2 of our 3 podium finishers right in the mix here. Again, I say that 47 and the 15. I say they're just trying to continue that pace that they've had of late.
Yeah, we haven't had any green flag pit stops yet, but I could definitely tell you, last time I was commentating was Indianapolis, and that's a very difficult pit road to get to, even though it's just a straight, hook to the left. But since this track is a little bit oblong shape, you're constantly turning to the left. So these guys are definitely going to have to tell each other when they're going to pit, and if they don't, you're going to have somebody's going to run over you.
Yeah, and then of course making sure you make all the right adjustments on it. So again, these cars, you can obviously make so many changes on it, be it brake bias. I mean, some drivers probably going to start setting their weight jacker backwards as well, because and that's where these guys, that's where some of the pros kind of, they gain and make their time is making those right adjustments at the right time for pit entry, for pit exit, clean air, dirty air. I mean, it's a science really with these guys. So yeah, we'll see when someone, like I said, who's going to be the one first to blink. But and actually here it is right there. It's going to be Luis Gonzalez Nunez. He's going to be the first to hit pit road. And looks like a nice clean entry for that number 15 car. So he's going to be the first taker, maybe trying the undercut here, Chris. Pit a little earlier, take advantage of those fresh tires, and see if he can make something happen here. But now this is where you get nervous, though. When you do this, you need this thing to stay green. Do not want to get that untimely caution.
Yeah, I think once he cycles back out, he'll be about a lap and a half down. I think
around. Oh, there it is. That's the caution. Nick DeGroot was actually trying to get to pit road right as it flew as well. I'm not sure if Nick was able to get onto pit road before the caution flew. He might have to just drive through the pits here, and that may have just thrown that one, unfortunately, possibly in a tough spot. I say if the caution came out after he got into pit road, this actually could be a perfect opportunity for him, and it looks like he is going to get serviced here. So
I think that's a free stop.
This could be a free stop for the 64. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, just unfortunately, it's just slight mistake on the pit entry. We just talked about it for that for the 40 car. Or sorry, for the 36 car. So yeah, so the field already caught up to the pace car. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what timing the scoring is gonna say out of this, because right now, as it looks, I believe Craig Forsyth will be the lucky dog still. After all that's said and done, he'll get waved by here around the pace car. I believe we'll see Luis Gonzalez Nunez. He'll most likely just wave around to get back on the lead lap. But I think, again, I think the car we got to watch is right here. Nick DeGroot, did he get onto pit road in time? And we'll try to go back and we'll take a look, because right now he is staying out as if he's going to be our leader. So let's go back, Chris. Let's take one more look at this one, because it was right as he was entering pit lane here. And say we're going to try to get a better look at this one.
Yeah, it looked just like Eric was getting ready to downshift, and I think that's that moment where your car just gets loose because you're no longer in the gas, but you're still giving full throttle because you got our full inputs because you got to turn all the way to the left. And I think just as soon as the car got light, just got away from him right as he got to the pit entry. But lucky for him, he didn't commit a pit penalty, so he was able to just kind of go around the track. Obviously, he's a couple of laps or a couple of positions back, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened with that wreck.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I say, based on what it's looking like, it looks like the timing of the caution may have just been absolute perfection for the 89 car. So at the moment, it looks like he's going to cycle around as our leader. Andrew Wood's going to come out in second after his pit stop under that caution. And then Matt Wagner and Joseph Grijalvo are going to be our top 4. Don Hunter, top 5. And then we mentioned kind of had lost the main pack there of Jim Brooks there, but he's going to cycle back into 6th now after all this is said and done. And do need to mention, we talked about the lucky dog. It was indeed Craig Forsyth. There he is. He's back on the lead lap. We'll see him duck off onto pit road. And then we will also see some of those drivers that basically came onto pit road and unfortunately got trapped. So they unfortunately see here Yari Brupacher. It looks like Yari's going to gamble actually here, Chris. He's going to stay out, get from 2 down to 1 down. I think he's going to be just basically banking on a quick yellow out of that 49. However, the 15 car, these are the heartbreaker ones though. You're in the top 5, you make your pit stop, you go for a strategy call, and unfortunately it just winds up biting you. As you can see, he's trapped tail end lead lap here. So he's gonna get back on lead lap, Chris, but he's gonna be down in probably about pretty much about 15th place. Not on track, but on track position, I should say, because he's going to have a few lap cars in front of him. So that's a heartbreaker there for Luis. But on the polar opposite, though, Craig Forsyth, he's a very happy camper, knows he's finally back into the mix here.
Yeah, and that's just that thing with, pitting early where you kind of just take that risk and hope that everyone else that's coming in with you can get in their stalls. And he had a great pit stop. He got in real smooth, real clean, and just was unfortunate that as soon as he was getting ready to, get out, just that caution happened.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm looking at the pit time for Luis, and yeah, it was 40.4 seconds in pit lane total, which is right on par with pretty much the whole field there. I say Andrew Odo's 40.62, 40.88 for Matt Wagner. But again, I think possibly just how quick Nick DeGroot was able to get onto pit road, that may have been what saved him here, being able to stay as the race leader, being able to get onto pit road before the pits had closed. And then that's just luck of the draw. And I say tonight on this one went the way of the 89. Obviously earlier with the contact with he and Craig, say that didn't go his way. So he's probably hoping that this is the right turn of fortune for him tonight.
Yeah, very very unfortunate circumstances for a couple, but very fortunate for others. It's almost a real big gamble here there. So I that might be the race for some people. Other people, they're going to have to work a little bit harder. But I think the way this is going to play out, well, we got another...
And so I think you're spot on there. These guys won't have the numbers to make it there. The question is going to be, what it really does is it opens up a pretty big window, though, for when you want to pit. Do you want to basically run this out and then pit late? Do you split it in half? Because, we saw how sketchy those cars got at the end of the fuel run. Maybe someone decides, you know what, if we go green, I'm going to try to jump in and kind of split it evenly, or maybe go the opposite route and maybe just try to pit as soon as I'm in my window. So, yeah, there's going to be probably about a 10 to 20 lap window, I feel like, of when you can make that final stop here if we stay green. So it's going to be fun to see as Nick DeGroot's going to lead the field here coming back to green.
Yep, sitting as close to the outside as possible so you don't get jumped. He's going to get a pretty decent start, I think, because Andrew's not really closing up on him. But we'll see Nick get off right here as he's going already. He's a pretty big jump. 3rd and 4th did not get that good of a start, so it might be all chaos in a couple laps.
Yeah, so and that's exactly it. Is just having to try to time. It's that risk versus reward. I mean, of course, you want to try to time the start and jump as best you can. But again, though, that's why they run the walls, because if you pass them on top, it's a legit pass. If you pass them down low, you're going to get a drive-through penalty. But you're right, though. It's say that we talked about the potential chaos, and it's kicking off right away. Joseph Grijalva wasting no time. He's jumped already to the outside of the 6 of Matt Wagner. And I say Matt's going to get probably pinned behind the 64 here through. No, actually, look at this. Andrew's going to stay up top here. Not what I would have expected to see. Oh, we got one down on the apron there. Who was that? I think that may have been Yari Brewpark. No, I'm sorry. That was Jim Herrick in the 40 car. Oh, yeah, that car's got suspension damage. I think he was just trying to see if he can limp it along, but unfortunately has not come into fruition. And then Yari Brewparker, yeah, is on pit road now. So, say, not sure about the strategy there. I think there's a risk versus reward there, and he took the gamble. It didn't pay off, so I think he's going to get tracked back to 2 down. So in the grand scheme, I don't think it's going to be a major loss, I'll say, because he's going to just go back to where he was, basically.
Yeah, looking at these guys, I'm not too sure if you're going to be able to just defend the bottom, because you gotta protect the top. But as soon as you do that, you're going to have the guy decide to do the crossover on you. So the defending here is going to be a little bit difficult for these guys. It was, I would say, even more difficult than when it was at Indianapolis.
And that's the question too, is at what point do you start to get more defensive on your racing here? Because there's a lot of opportunities, of course, of when to make those moves happen. So right now, let's say it seems like Nick's kind of safely in the spot where he's at. We see Jim Brooks actually just getting around the Mach 5, if you will, of Don Hunter there, move Jim up into 5th. I say again, that caution, a big break for him. He's definitely been making the most of that as well. The other guys we got to keep an eye on are going to be these two right here, Craig Forsyth, Luis Gonzalez Nunez. I'm going to say they both got back on the lead lap here, and we know they have pace in those 2 cars, so they're going to be definitely gunning to get back into that top 5 and have a chance for the win here tonight as well. And then mention Matt Wagner right there, say in 4th. 47 passed him a few laps to go. He's holding on pretty steady. Oh, say another car with the bobble there. I think it's still the 40. Something going on with that 40. Maybe the fast pair not taking or something. That car still just looks like it's got broken suspension, unfortunately. But right now, though, looks like Nick's just kind of settled in with Andrew, but now it looks like they are starting to work that draft with one another here, and just try to, I think, keep this race between the 2 of them as they run.
Yeah, we usually, we see Nick up front all the time, but this race he never got a chance. And
big bobble there,
with a big block, big bobble up there too. I think we haven't seen Nick up front at all until this race. So this is his first real test of can I get to the front? What moves can I use? What how deep do I have to dig into my bag of tricks? So he already faced 1 block there. So we'll see if he has anything else for him.
Yeah, that's I think the second instance we've seen of someone trying to figure out which lane was that car in front of them going to go. And yeah, that almost ended in tears there for Nick, but is able to, again, just the quick hands these drivers has is just unbelievable how fast they can react to these things. But yeah, that was a very close call though for that 89 there, but hung on to it. But you're right though, I mean, was that a block? Was that Andrew just kind of, maybe they kind of were on miscommunication? It's like, hey, okay, I'm going to go low, you're going to go high, and then it wound up being not the case. But I don't know, the way it's looking right now, I think Andrew said, you know what, I'm going to live on this yellow line now. If you're going to pass me, it's going to be up top, because, I mean, look at that. He's pretty much straight away, goes straight back to that yellow line here as we're watching from Matt Wagner's point of view.
Yeah, look at Andrew. I think he learned his lesson, so I don't think he wants anyone to go back on this inside to the crossover anymore, because right now you got Nick on the outside, but Nick's getting past, so Andrew has a good lead here, good block. Oh, as he goes down low, too. Wow.
That was a nice move there for Joseph. I think Andrew's more focused on Nick there. Joseph going to try to take advantage. Just couldn't get the power down out of 4 though. So I think that low entry kind of cost him a little bit of exit speed. So Andrew's going to continue to hang on. But you're right though. Now it's the 47 up to 2nd. So now we'll see. Does he keep protecting the inside line? You see, kind of just running right around the middle there. So almost, to me, almost daring somebody to try to jump low there. So I say maybe that, again, maybe the car's starting to change a little bit, but look, the momentum out of 4. Here comes that 47, just gets that rear quarter. We'll see if he can do anything out of 2.
Yeah, I think Andrew's committed to, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to wreck me from the inside or go all the way around.
Yeah, and that's going to be the question is, yeah, at what point do we see that 2nd lane? And also, how aggressive do you decide to be? Because right now, the 47, he's playing nice. He's giving Andrew, you can see there, plenty of room to drift up to the top and everything. At some point, the 47, when we get to closing stages of the race, he could really start to pinch him down. I mean, because it's in Joseph's prerogative. He could run that second seam if he chooses to, and kind of make Andrew have to roll out of the throttle. I mean, of course, it puts him at risk as well. But I say when you get towards the ends of these races, I say that's when you got to take the opportunities and make those gambles. So we're not there yet because we still got 55 to go here at the line. Still got one more pit stop to go. Again, probably about another 15 laps, I'd say, Chris, before that pit window opens for these guys. And again, they last pitted at 54, so I'm going to be intrigued. I think splitting it evenly, I think that's going to be the way. There he goes. He's going to peek just to the inside. He gave enough room.
Gave just enough room.
Yep, Joseph's going to try to take it, but now does he have the momentum out of 4?
Ooh, it's going to be close. It's going to be head-to-head at the line.
Yeah, at the line, it looks like Andrew had it by about 0.04 of a second there. So I'm saying here's going to shake things up a little bit too. Not too far away ahead of them is that 49 of Yari Brewpacker. So if they get into the dirty air of the 49, that's going to also change kind of the strategy and just the way these cars drive. But man, right now we've got 4, 5, 6 of our leaders here right under a blanket. Again, got to mention that. Look at the 15. Here comes Luis Gonzalez Nunez. He is back into this pack here. Chris, we talked about him taking that early pit stop. It wound up biting him, but he's already worked his way back up into this main pack here, up in the 7th.
Yeah, he's working hard to get back up there, and with the way that these guys are fighting, he'll be back up there in no time. Might even have a couple free passes there with a wreck possibly getting ready to happen. These guys are running close.
Yeah, these guys are running pretty aggressive. You see a big exit out of 4 for that 15. Gets right to the rear wing of Don Hunter here. And again, though, now he's going to start to get that dirty air from these guys. So now he's going to try to, again, position himself correctly and find those right moves. But it's going to be tough because, I mean, Don's got all the draft off of Jim Brooks. But, yeah, it looks like the 15, Luis Gonzalez, he's going to rim right here through 3 and 4. And he's going to make that pass out of 4. So, yeah, so that 15, I mean, this might be a blessing in disguise. He may have learned what he needs to do to work that dirty air to make moves to get forward in this race, because he's definitely running the highest of pretty much anybody we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, and big shout outs to Jim Brooks there. He's been in the race the whole time. He's been real quietly, just kind of sitting back. He avoided that first wreck. He was the last car on that kind of train of cars, and he avoided that wreck and kind of just decided, hey, these guys are a little bit crazy. Let me sit back a little bit, and now he's just running 5th, just chilling out again.
Yeah, getting a good spot as now it's Matt Wagner and Andrew Wood now starting to cycle in the lead with one another here. And now it looks like they're kind of back to that leapfrog approach again here, Chris. I think maybe some teamwork between these two. But look at that 3rd lane, though, that Harry Gant Highway and Hanson line for those that follow stock cars. But man, Luis is on a charge. He's already got to the 51 of Jim Brooks. He's going to see what he can do there. But again, though, he's gonna now it's just every spot you get, it's always going to get that much more difficult. So. And again, I think some of the other guys, we got to wait and see if they can recover as well. I kind of ignored Eric Peterson. Obviously that unfortunate pit stop spin under green, but he's still right there too. He's right behind Don Hunter, so he's right into the thick of this thing as well. You got next to him Joseph Morales in that 60. The one that I really thought we'd see a little bit more out of early on is Craig Forsyth, but I think Craig might be kind of doing his old little strategy tricks in that number 27. So I don't think we've seen the last of Craig yet. I think he's got a trick or two up his sleeve still in these closing 48 laps now.
Yeah, Craig's definitely a magician when it comes to strategy and everything like that. And for Luis, I've never seen a car so far this race go that high and roll up the top. He definitely has something cooking right now.
Yeah, he's definitely liking that top side. You see Jim, he's trying to get back to the inside of him here. But the problem is for Jim, he's got no draft in front of him. Luis had all the momentum and the draft out of 2. He swings right back by that number 51. So move Luis now back into the top 5. So again, I mean, this is a very impressive drive out of that 15 to recover as well as he's had. So you've seen it's not an easy track to pass out thus far, but he is definitely running lines that nobody else is wanting to. As you can see there again, see Jim kind of get a push loose there out of 2. But Luis is he's just arcing this thing, like I said, pretty much rim riding it here. And so you see Jim there. I don't think that was maybe fully intentional. I think that car's just starting to push a little bit out of that 51. So again, we're about 5 laps away, I think, before that pit window opens here formally for these front runners. So like I said, I'm curious to see, does anybody gamble, try to hit pit road early, maybe try to do something a little off sequence, or do these guys just run them all the way dry?
I'm looking right now. Luis has not come down from being all the way up top on the track right there, and now he's getting ready to make another pass. I think he has something for the rest of these guys at the end of the race. If he can just do it again, he goes right back to the top after making that pass. This man is on fire.
Yeah, he has got something going. I say he likes that outside line. He is definitely trying to make it work. And you're right, though. It wasn't even a second thought. He wasn't debating like, do I go back to the top side? It was, as soon as I cleared, I'm going straight to the top here. So yeah, Luis found something that he really likes. But the problem is, though, again, I say you start to get to the back of these guys, you know that they're going to start watching like, wait, where did that 15 car come from? They'll be watching their mirrors and like, oh man, he's been running that third lane, fourth lane even. And it's been working, so eventually someone's going to probably try to steal that away from him. So you see right there, Matt Wagner running pretty high, but just enough for Luis to hang on to that draft. So yeah, Luis has found a really solid combo here. And like I said, I mean, he had a great run last week getting that podium. I think he's going for more here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like he almost wants to think about 3 wide, but he decides not to. He's just going to sit back here while he runs right behind Matt. Nick kind of just choosing his lines here, who he wants to block. Block down low for Andrew, block up high for Matt. But he's really going to have to kind of make his choices once these guys decide to stack back up and get a good momentum going.
Oh, I think we had Eric Peterson. He got loose out of turn number 4. We've seen before. Oh, yeah, that car's got some significant left rear damage there. He's going to try to limp that thing back to the pits. We'll go back real quick and take a look at it here as he comes out of 4. And it looks like, oh, actually, I think made contact with the outside wall there. And then, yeah, just full head of steam, and then yeah, oh, there's the contact down on the inside. So unfortunately for Eric there, let's say it's going to be again a pit penalty for him at the very least. I'd say maybe night over. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Do you mention, unfortunately, it looks like Gary Corley and the 41 of Taylor Reeves, they have both retired from the event as well. But yeah, I say this is getting to it though. Like I said, we're at 40 to go now, so for the gambling drivers, this is where that window opens. When do you decide it's worth the risk and jumping in?
2 cars are always faster than 1, but at this track, you might not know what your pit delta is because we never got a chance on the first one. So these guys might not want to take the risk, but the reward is definitely out there for them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's going to be the risk reward here. So far, none of our front runners taking the bait yet, and it looks like it's further back there. So I think everybody, and same thing too, Chris. When you get those cautions during the pit stop cycle, it just makes you gun shy. On those second and third pit stops, you're like, well, yes, I want to, but we tried it once and it bit me. It's like for Luis Gonzalez, like, yeah, he probably is okay with the idea of it, but the problem is he's done it once and it didn't work. So do you really want to do it again? So, so I think, yeah, actually here comes Jim Brooks. He's going to be the taker here. He's going to come at 37 to go. He was right around the top 5 there when he pitted. So this is going to be the benchmark here to see what everybody else does. And do need to mention the leaders. Look at this. They've caught Jari Brupacher in that 49 car. Again, Jari just a little bit off sequence here, but that might show us the pace difference between draft and kind of being on your own here. So we'll see if this works out for them. As here comes Luis. He is going to try it one more time here. He's going to hit pit road as well in that 15. So that's 2 of our front runners now that have hit pit road here with just out inside of 30 to go, or 40 to go, I'm sorry.
Yeah, going to be very interesting to see where Jim comes out at as these guys get ready to pass Jari. Jari, I don't think he wants to give up the spot necessarily too easily, but he's, respectable drivers here. It's a very respectable lead. So we'll see if Jari can just stay out front. If caution comes out, he might get a little bit lucky.
And that's the thing is, again, he's trying to save his race to be just 2 down instead of, 3 down at that point. Yeah, your race is probably over. And it looks like, yeah, so clean pit stop for Jim Brooks. Looks like a clean pit stop for Luis as well. And I say, because Jim is entering turn 1 now. Luis is rolling out of the apron, out of turn 2. They might come out pretty close together here. So that we talked about maybe having drafting partners. This actually could be a good opportunity for the 2 of them, maybe to try to get some speed together, work together, and kind of, like I said, maybe do the undercut, if you will, pit early and then make some big lap time. So we'll see if that comes into fruition. But here comes Nick, though. He's going to dive low under Jari. Let's see if that's for a pit stop. No, it is not. He continues on his way. And so far we've had 2 takers, nobody else willing to. So here's Luis and Jim there. You can see they're about 6/10 apart of one another here. So we know they're good to go to the end. But right now they just want to see this pit stop cycle complete itself. That way then they can get back into the thick of this race.
Yeah, looks like Yari's still kind of hanging up top. He already let Nick by, but these guys getting ready to do the pit stops, and I think they're getting ready to. They don't want to sit right behind Yari, so I think they're going to try to come in now.
Yeah, here comes Andrew Wood. He's hit pit road from that third position, so he's going to be the third of our front runners hit pit road. Did you mention Craig Forsyth? He's still going after. He's about 3 seconds off those guys in front of them, so let's say he's unfortunately lost some of that track position we had talked about. Whereas the 15 is able to regain the positions. But yeah, right now though, from first, second, third here, they're all still lockstep with one another. Joseph Morales, he now hits pit road in that number 60, so it's all starting to kick off. So now the question is going to be, yeah, where some of these drivers, where do they cycle out in relation to one another? And I think it's going to be fun to see, where does Andrew cycle out in relation to Jim and with Luis? And it's going to be a no question here. Luis is gone. Here's Andrew just rolling out of the pits, but he is going to be multiple seconds behind. So right now, this short pit strategy looking really good for Luis and Jim.
Yeah, they're sitting right there together, so they can actually draft and get a little bit faster and stay on those top tier lap times. While if you're running by yourself, you're going to have to sit there in sixth gear, burn off a little bit more, or downshift and just try to figure out how to kind of just do your little qualifying laps instead of just kind of just go back to race pace and being faster than everybody else.
Yep. Also, I mentioned Nick DeGroot. He's on pit road. Matt Wagner, he's just hit pit road, as is Craig Forsyth, and then Dan Moreira as well. So that leaves, it looks like, about 2 drivers of the leaders yet to pit. That will be Joseph Grijalva here in that 47 and the 01 of Don Hunter. So say if you're Joseph, this is where you're kind of rooting for that all timely yellow possibly. As here he comes. Oh, and there it is. The caution comes out. He's going to grab a gear. He's going to roll right back out onto the pits. And I think it was it was Nick DeGroot here, Chris, who was involved in the incident. I think may have just got a little too aggressive on pit exit, made a mistake there, and that car may be done for the night. So it's a heartbreaker for Nick, but it also could be a race-winning caution here for Joseph. We just talked about maybe that's what he's going to be rooting for. He was literally turning left onto pit road when that caution comes out. So let's go back, try to see what happens to Nick here on his pit exit. So we'll pick it up here, and we'll see if we can get a better look at it.
Looked like he was just trying to grab a gear as he was getting out of the pits, and the car just went dead left and then right back to the right.
Oh man, yeah, that's an abrupt hit there. Saying, of course, and this is all happening.
Jim just got by.
I was gonna say, well, we'll slow mos. I have a feeling we're gonna see some cars just peek by there. Oh man, look at the 15 just low. Oh my, that is as close as you can be there for that 51 Jim Brooks. Let's one more time here. We'll take another look at this one, Chris. But we're gonna watch from the view of Jim Brooks here on that exit, because then we'll go at speed to show how fast this stuff happens. Actually get back to the incident here.
Yeah, you just see him going to the corner. You probably hear I mean, if anything, you hear a call that there's a car on the track. But if you say that he's in the wall, you're thinking up top, so you're looking up top, and if by inches, the car comes right back down. These cars don't necessarily stop when you're holding the brakes, because they just slide. They're literally just like airplanes, and when they don't have the suspension, they kind of just glide like boats all the way back downhill. And just looking at Jim right there, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's closer than you want for comfort. And the thing is, too, again, everybody running kind of different setups. Say, I know you and I running the screens. I say, obviously some insider info. I say, I know for my dad running VR, so I can only imagine kind of how that was looking for him. But what's right now, though, I think what we're seeing here, though, is everybody's trying to get themselves resorted, because I believe what we've got here is we've got 2 drivers that stayed out and were able to stay on the lead lap here, Don Hunter and Joseph Grijalva. Although, actually, I look at the laps, I'm not sure who's going to be where, but I think basically right now, that 47 car has the entire field pretty much trapped on the tail end of the lead lap from Matt Wagner on back. So we're going to see a lot of wave rounds here. So yeah, so this is going to come interesting here, where we're going to probably have a restart with, I'd say, about 25 to go, it's looking like. We'll wait and see for that pace car when those lights turn off, because that's going to be the telltale here. And yeah, it looks like lights are still on, so everybody's trying to get themselves resorted. And yeah, Nick DeGroot, unfortunately, still sitting on pit road. So championship-wise, though, this is definitely a big hit, though, for that number 89. Talk about drop weeks, though, Chris. This could come into play. This might be one of his drop week races. maybe one of his worst results here possibly. So if not, that could bring that the 64 of Andrew Wood, could be the 27 of Craig Forsyth right back into it. And that's the next thing to talk about. We talked about Craig Forsyth, Chris. He lost the draft. He was kind of off on his own about 3 seconds back. Just the timing of the caution, and when he was in pit road, he's going to restart. Looks like right around the top 5 here. That's a big break for Craig.
Definitely a comeback story for for this race. Obviously had the incident early on, but looking at where he's at right now and knowing, we got about 25 laps to go, these guys are going to be basically in a dead sprint. It's all or nothing at this point. I don't think you can really kind of hold back. So we got Matt sitting up front right now. A couple other cars are up front, but I think when this thing all plays out, it's everything's there to play for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see right now. I think, again, when you get cautions in the middle of pit stop cycle, it just really shakes everything up, and it takes some laps to get everything resorted correctly. So what we do know for a fact is you'll see these cars right here. They'll wave around the pace car once the lights go out on that pace car. And they'll go from the tail end of the lead lap back to back on the lead lap just a little bit further back. So that's going to be Matt Wagner, Craig Forsyth, Luis Gonzalez, Jim Brooks, Dan Morera, Andrew Wood, and Joseph Morales. So all these guys are going to cycle around, get back to the lead lap here. And then Joseph's going to for sure be restarting as our leader. But then I'm trying to figure out second, third, and so on and so forth, because right now that's our leader, the 47. Don Hunter in the the 01, that's second place. There's no questions there. But then I'm showing Jeff Heisong in the 18 as being in third. And if I remember correctly, I believe Jeff was a lap down still, if you remember, because he had that earlier incident that he had to go to pit road and get taken care of. So I'm trying to figure out for Jeff. You can see he's actually dropping to the inside. So I think he might have been the waiver. He may have been the lucky dog, actually, I believe. And so he's trying to get everybody organized correctly here. So as they like said, we might see the lights come back on if they need to get this resorted. But this could be a big opportunity, though, also for Jeff Heisong to gain a ton of track position. So we'll see here. We got 10 cars still on the lead lap there from Joseph Grijalva to Joseph Morales. So we'll see here, but we're going to restart this. Looks like this time here, Chris, with 24 to go. Everybody's on relatively fresh tires here, but definitely an advantage going to that 47 and the 01. So we'll see what they got here for these remaining 24 laps.
Yeah, I just saw Yari go into the pits along with the pace car. I think he just got out the way for everyone else. But as we go green, decent start for Joseph and then Don. Looking here, a lot of these guys haven't been up front too much. I think really Matt's been, the veteran of the front league here. So we got a whole nother action here. A little bit of different taste, a little flavor.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing, is to see is also the difference in tires possibly. I mean, for the top three, everybody's on the same level playing field here, the 47, the 01, the 18. So they're all pretty equal, but then you go back to the short pitters, Luis Gonzalez, Jim Brooks. They're going to have about 10 lap older tires, so it may not work out as best as they were hoping for. If that had cycled green, I think things were looking great for them. So unfortunately, I think they're going to kind of come back and be like, what could have been if not for that yellow. But yeah, I mean, and to me though, I think this is Joseph's really good opportunity, because he was up front, he was battling. He just had never really been able to jump to that very top step to now be able to kind of control and lead the pace of this race. But to me though, the one that's really benefited from this though is right behind him, right there in that 18, Jeff Heisong. So he got caught up in that early incident. Now he's back into the mix, and bring Matt Wagner in. He's going to join the party too. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park for Joseph, but he's definitely got the position. But I'd say Luis, he's ignoring what I said about tires, because he is right back up that top side. He's going for it here.
That man started, I think, 2 or 3 positions back, and within a couple of laps, he's already getting ready to fight for the lead again. Definitely sitting back up top. He knows what he's doing. I think he's all in right now. As we see the leaders trying to, it looks like they want to go 3 wide. As we see, I think is that Craig in the middle.
Yeah, Craig starting to peek into that mix as well here in that 27 car. Matt Wagner, he's going to try to work the outside. There's Luis. He actually got stuck on the inside here, it looks like, for once in that 15 car. I talked about even Jim Brooks. It looks like I'm wrong, because he's gone right to the front here as well. He's going to make some moves as well. As it's on here, Chris. Look at this. I mean, you find a spot, there's a car in it. So These guys are going after here, but I think what Joseph is doing, I think, is what he's going to probably have to do to try to have his best chance to win this race, and that is to paint that yellow line, make him pass you up top here. I think that's going to be your best opportunity here, is just use that track basically to your advantage as that extra defense.
Yeah, definitely leave no room underneath there. As we see, I mean, they want to go 3 wide so bad, and I know that Luis wants to go up top, but he might have to go down low on them. And then you still see Matt up there. Matt kind of just holding his own too, so it might kick off here in a second. But if these guys mess up just a little bit, I think it's going to spell disaster for everyone.
Oh no, yeah, these guys are. I mean, it's a race now. I mean, there's no holds barred. These guys are giving it everything they have. There's Luis. He's going to go a little too high. Looks like got a little bit of aero wash there. He's going to have to try to cut. Yeah, there he goes. Cut straight back down there. But yeah, I think for Luis here, he's going to have to try to get to the rear wing of that 47. But then I don't think you run the high line. I think we talked about that seam. I think he's going to have to keep that 47 as pinched as he can, kind of keep that motor wound down, if you will. And as you can see, he's got a nose ahead entering 3. This is a good opportunity, but I think right there he's got to stay a little tighter on the wing of, or on the side pod of that 47. I think that's going to be the way to do it. But at the line, though, it's going to be tight. Looks like Joseph just again had it there at 16 to go. But like I said, these guys, they're going to start to squeeze a little harder, a little tighter. And so that's when I say tears might happen. But right now, this is intense.
This is great. This is great for the spectators. I think these guys their heart rates are climbing right up there too. Looking up top, that third car always wants to. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, spun off into the grass. Oh, look at that! Just grabs it and points it straight. He's got the car pointing in the right direction. He's gonna have a penalty, unfortunately, to serve, but he hung onto that car.
3 wide up here.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back up front though, because yeah, Joseph's still trying to fight these guys off behind him. He's got the 15 to his outside. He's got the 64 behind him. You got Jim Brooks right there, Jeff Highsong right there. I mean, right there though, look at that. Luis at the line. He did have the lead, but does he hold the lead? Oh, he does. Luis Gonzalez takes over the point now. So now this is Luis. He'd been living on that outside line. What do you do now with the clean air, Chris? Do you go back low? Do you have the adjustments you need here to hold on to that top spot? As now Jim Brooks is working that second lane. It is all to play for here with 13 to go at the line.
This is very exciting. He was able to get around the outside, close the door, but we haven't seen him really do any defensive moves. So I think he might just try to play it just like everyone else and close the bottom. And you know, if you're gonna beat me, you gotta beat me around the outside or take both of us to the wall.
Yeah, this is incredible racing, and so got an update from Yari. Unfortunately, I guess he was having some connection difficulties with that car blinking. So, we talked about the respect given from these drivers. He actually went ahead and basically just pulled off track to let everybody race and not play a role in it. So, I'm gutted for Yari. It's been a tough race, tough season for you, honestly. But hopefully, hopefully tides will turn here soon for you. And yeah, definitely. I think we're in the same boat here, Valerie. So yeah, this is an exciting race right now. Joseph's definitely got the fan club on YouTube right now going. But these guys are going. Look at right behind Jim Brooks, Jeff Highsong. They're dicing it up as well for third. And right now, Joseph, he's got to the outside of that 15. He's going to try to do the same thing that he did right there. He cuts below. He's going to get the good drift. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, no. Contact between the leaders. Jim Brooks involved as well.
Oh.
The 01 as well. Oh, that's a heartbreaker there. Just tried to make the move. Just a slight mistake here. Late yellow at 11 to go. So that's going to put us back under yellow. That's what we talked about, Chris. Just one small mistake is going to shake everything up there. And that's unfortunately exactly what we just saw. So we'll see if those guys can make it to the pits. You see Jim, he's going to try that car. Oh, there's no front wheels. He's going to probably have to take a tow. He's going to try to maybe ride the wall here, see if he has any chance. That's how desperate these guys are to try to save that tow. That's a heartbreaker for these guys. Let's go back, though, one more time. Let's take a look to see how this all unfolded. Unfortunately, with that contact there down the backstretch, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. Like he was trying to make the pass on the inside. I think Joseph was trying to make the pass on the inside, realized that he couldn't. Decided to come up, and then you don't want to go all the way into the corner at the bottom of the racetrack. So I think both cars are going for the same real estate, just a little bit, and then just unfortunately with the speed of these cars, it was a little too late to react for both of them.
Yeah, I think
And
it's just also just the slightest of mistakes, unfortunately, and just that's unfortunately what caught them. And I say definitely nothing, obviously nothing intentional. Just these guys are going for everything at the end of this one, and so yeah, so that's a heartbreaker for Luis, heartbreaker for Joseph there, Jim Brooks as well. So I say a few of these guys definitely look like they had to take toes there, and right now and you see right here, Eric Peterson looks like he's going to get waved around, I believe, to get one of his 3 laps back. It looks like possibly back, or if not 4, I'll have to wait and see. But now strategy changes again here, Chris, because we have pretty much the whole front 4 stay out. You see Jeff Heisong, Joseph Morales, Andrew Wood. Somehow out of all of this, Matt Wagner, he's still in the fight here in that 6 car in 4th. And then need to mention, though, we had a couple takers on the lead lap to say, you know what, we're going to pit, we're going to try tires. That's going to be Craig Forsyth there, Dan Marrera. Don Hunter, he was able to make it to pit road, but of course, entering a close pit, he's going to have to restart towards the back. So he's still in the lead lap, but unfortunately, he's going to restart a little further back. And then for unfortunately some of those other guys involved, it looks like Jim Brooks in the 51 has retired from the event, whereas Joseph and Luis are still sitting on pit road, waiting for their toes to complete. So, oh man. That's a heartbreaker. I mean, but that's Indy cars. I mean, these guys are going at it tooth and nail there at the end. I honestly, I can't fault any of them for that, because they were going for the win there. And it's just unfortunate that they got caught up in it, as well as some of those other guys too. So the beneficiary though here, Chris, Jeff Heisong. We talked about him. Where did he come from to get back on the lead lap? Now he's back in the lead. And then Joseph Morales, he's gained 13 spots, started in 15th. He's now up into 2nd in that number 60 target car. And then you talk about usual suspects, look right behind him. Andrew Wood, Matt Wagner, Craig Forsyth, that's a trio to be reckoned with for this one. But then again, risk versus reward here. Andrew, you know your competition there of Nick DeGroot. He is sitting in 13th. And then Craig Forsyth, of course, same boat there in the 27. They're about 3 points apart. So do you go for it? Do you say, you know what, I'm just going to try to take top 5 points and kind of go on to the next week here? Because right now there are 7 cars on the lead lap in this race here. So we're going to restart here with probably just outside 5 to go. And that'll probably be the final restart, Chris, because there are no green-white checkers with these Indy cars.
Yeah, definitely going to be a shootout to the end. There's some races where you struggle the whole night. You have bad things happening to you the whole time. If you just stay with it, eventually you have a restart where you're just like, hey, I can see the pace car. You start thinking about the positives. And if you look at somebody like Joseph and somebody like Jeff Heisong, they definitely have not had the most positive race up until now. But right now it's the best place for both of them to be. And you kind of gotta count your blessings. Get your lucky horseshoe out. And hopefully, these guys can definitely hold off and defend one of these guys. And I think Joseph has something in the bag here.
Yeah, this is going to be fun, I'd say, because tire-wise also, I mean, right now the top 4 all within about, looks like 5 laps of each other. 6 laps of each other from 93 to 99. And then you go to Craig Forsyth, Dan Marrera at 116. So they're going to have about 20 lap better tires than those guys, but will it be enough here? So yeah, lights are off here, Chris. We're going to restart with 6 to go. Like I said, I think this will most likely be the final restart. So pretty much, I think it's going to be, obviously it's going to be someone in this top 7 here, but looking to see where the leaders are. So you can see everybody's all lined up together here for the top 6. But then unfortunately for Don Hunter, actually no, he's only 1 car behind. And do need to mention though, look at that, the 15, he is back out on track for Luis Gonzalez. Unfortunately 2 down, but after all that, still sitting in the top 10, 8th in points. That just kind of again tells you just how crazy this race has been, the attrition and everything like that. So like I said, it was intense there a second ago, and now it's gonna be the same thing, Chris. They're gonna have that 1 lap or so to kind of get the draft, kind of pull back into each other, and then it's just gonna be a dogfight. So I'll say if you're Jeff Heisong, if you can hold the lead, you want a quick yellow. If you're anybody else, you're saying, you know what, this thing needs to go green to the end. Get that white flag and let's race it out. So let's see what we got here. 6 to go.
Yeah, it's all or nothing with these guys, and I would see go full bore. There's nothing really to lose here. The season's almost over. We're cutting down the races. The fortune favors the bold. You know what I mean?
No, exactly right. And this is a great opportunity for some of these guys. So we'll see what we've got in store here as you see them coming down the front stretch. There he goes. He is down and away. Who is going to get the win here in 6 more laps? Will it be Jeff Hysong, Joseph Morales, or can Andrew Wood, Matt Wagner have anything to say about it as they come through turns 1 and 2?
Now, he still has some time here. Joseph has some time. Can he make a pass? I think he has one or two shots, really, before he has to get swallowed up by the guys behind him, because they're definitely going to make their moves. You got to commit hard.
Yes, exactly. And I think we've seen what the move is if you're going to have to do it on the outside, and I think you're going to have to try to keep him pinned down there, and that being the 18 of Jeff Hysong. So we'll see. Look at this, and that's the thing right there. Andrew Wood, if you give him an inch, he's going to take that inch. So here comes Andrew. He's going to try to find a way to get around, but right now Joseph doing exactly what he needs to hold that lead. Is close off of turn number 4. Somehow they stay off of one another there between the 64, the 6, and the 60. That was very, very close racing. As just to show how hard these guys are going, though, Chris, Don Hunter in the 01, we mentioned him. He just ran the fastest lap of the race there.
I'm not even sure if he got new tires, but to run fastest lap, with a couple laps left, that's really good praise right there. I think we got another car in the wall. I think I heard something.
Yeah, I think so. I may have just kissed it, but what I'm looking at is Craig Forsyth. He's got to these guys. Again, he's got the fresh tires. But right now, though, I mean, look at Jeff Hysong. He is sneaking away. But now, does Craig have any openings? Can he find a way to get to the outside? And the answer is no. He gets into Matt Wagner. No. Matt into the wall hard out of into turn number 3. But the car's still pointing straight. So at the moment, we stay green. We're at 2 to go. We'll see if he can get to pit road. He might have to just take a tow here. But right now, though, it's still going to be Jeff Hysong leading the way, and it looks like Matt has made it to pit road. So right now it's going to be, can Andrew Wood make a late charge here, or is it going to be Jeff Hysong here as we get to the white flag this next time by?
Looks like Jeff might be just out in front, just enough. Just enough. Right? We get the white flag now, so he's either going to have to get a good run or right here, I think it's over.
Yeah, he's got a lot of breathing room right now. Is it going to be enough to hold off the draft? He doesn't even worry about breaking the draft, not even protecting the inside. I think he feels comfortable where he is. He's going to run the middle here through 3, late apex to the bottom, and there's nothing Andrew Wood can do. Jeff Hysong going to get the win here tonight at Kentucky over Andrew Wood. Joseph Morales, Dan Marrero brings it home in 4th. Don Hunter, we talked about getting that fastest lap of the race. I believe he can jump into the top 5. And Craig Forsyth will still somehow hang on and grab that 6th position. But it's going to be Jeff Hysong. Again, he was kind of the innocent victim in that first wreck there on lap number 1. Lost his lap, but then gets it back about over halfway through the race and finds a way to get back to the checkered flag here first tonight.
What a race. This was exciting from start to finish. Got real excited with the last 15 laps to go. And these guys gave it everything that they had. Yeah,
it's definitely gonna be a heartbreaker for some, and yeah, definitely gonna be some very, very happy faces. I'm saying that also, again, got to give a big shout out there to Joseph Morales. Kind of withstood the fight, was able to still bring it home in the podium in 3rd, so he'll get a chance to chat with us. Also the highest climber with 12 positions gained, so great job by that 60. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a very, very happy Jeff Hysong here in just a moment as well. So before we get to them, though, Chris, let's pull up our final results for tonight's event. As, again, getting the win is going to be Jeff Hysong in that number 18 over Andrew Wood, Joseph Morales, Dan Marrero, Don Hunter, our top 5. And then Craig Forsyth bringing it home in 6th. Again, Luis Gonzalez Nunez fighting for the win. Unfortunately involved in that late incident. Finishes in 2nd. Matt Wagner, we just saw obviously what happened to him towards the end there. Has to take a tow. He finishes in 8th. And then Eric Peterson 9th. And then, of course, Joseph Grijalva. Same kind of situation as Luis. But heartbreaker, but still brings home a top 10. And then Jim Brooks 11th there, also caught up in that last incident there for that yellow. And then Yari Brubacher, our championship leader, Nick DeGroot 13th. Taylor Reeves, Jim Herrick, Gary Corley, and Jason Hand in 17th. All right, with that, let's go find some drivers to chat with here. I'm going to see if first off we can hunt down that number 60 of Joseph Morales. Haven't seen him yet, so we'll keep an eye out for him. Might have to go a little bit off sequence for the moment. We'll start off with Andrew Wood then while we're here. So let's go hunt Andrew down. Let's get a good look at that number 64 machine. So that is always a good looking car there for Andrew. And man, Andrew, that was a wild one tonight. I mean, the timing of the yellows, the causes of the yellows, and they had some drivers sliding off into the grass, into pit road off of 4. I mean, it looked like it was a handful tonight. I mean, take us through kind of what you had to go through to even have a chance at this one at the end tonight.
Man, I don't even know where to start. It was kind of a fuel save race early on, and then it kind of became more of just, a straightforward kind of race afterwards. And there was a lot of coming and going and a lot of back and forth. I kind of didn't know where I really wanted to be. I felt very comfortable leading. As you saw, I led quite a bit in the middle there. I felt like leading was probably the way to go, but eventually I just got kind of swallowed up by everyone, which kind of happens when you have this pack race situation. So I really don't I don't have a good answer for you. Like, every lap was a different kind of adventure, and just we all got very, very close for those last 20 laps, and you can't just back out of it because the dirty air from 4th, 5th, 6th on back is just so bad. Like, you have to kind of still play the game and try and find your way in the middle there. So yeah, it was a tough one for sure, and I just am happy that I survived all the carnage and found myself in a spot where I can take the podium.
Yeah, Andrew, you did really well for defending while you were up front. You were getting kind of double teamed there, where you had one guy on the outside, one guy kind of just following right behind you. And at some points of the race, you guys having to like snake all the way down the backstretch and just get defending, where you didn't want anyone to get on your inside. So if you wanted someone to pass, they had to go on the outside. So you defended pretty well. Pit strategy wise, seemed like some people got unlucky. Seems like you had a decent pit strategy there. From your perspective, how was the strategy going to play out for you? Did you have to make a plan B and plan C, or was everything kind of just falling into your favor?
No, I was pretty straightforward with my pit strategy. Nick's wreck kind of helped me a little bit because I actually missed my pit box on the last stop there. Just a depth perception kind of thing. There was a car that was broken in the pit box right behind me, and like I couldn't really gauge where my braking point was. So I kind of missed my box, and if I had gone green from there, I would have been way behind. So the caution happening right there really saved me and gave me an opportunity. Otherwise, everything pit strategy wise, I pretty much hit to a T. I knew exactly what I was doing, knew exactly what I had to do. That's why I was comfortable leading that big portion of the race while Peterson and Nunez were saving fuel behind me. So that aspect of the race was good. It was just trying to figure out where I needed to place my car and where I was most comfortable running.
Yeah, it was an impressive run, no doubt there. And the other thing to notice was, I mean, obviously with Kentucky, obviously 1 and 2, you want to be on that yellow line, obviously, kind of just try to hug it, run the shortest distance. But 3 and 4 seemed like it was kind of had more to decide on where you wanted to be. It seemed like it had more opportunities if you wanted to kind of run middle, get a good exit, especially of course, like you mentioned, in that dirty air being a big part of tonight's race. Yep, I still got you, sir.
I lost you for a second there.
Oh, sorry about that.
Just start whatever you said over again. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. No worries. No, so my question was going to be kind of the where to position your car on track. I mean, obviously 1 and 2, you're kind of just hugging the yellow line. You want to run the shortest distance there. But 3 and 4, it kind of gave you a lot of options. You could go the short distance, or of course you kind of maybe not quite to go the top, but in dirty air, it seemed like there was definitely a lot of room to make some moves in 3 and 4. Was there a preferred groove that you noticed, that also maybe just based on the way the setup felt for you guys tonight?
I think on this configuration of Kentucky, turn 1 and 2 is banked a little more than 3 and 4. So, of course, you want to just take the shortest distance you possibly can in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, you kind of have to feel out. Obviously taking the bottom line is the best way to go, as in any sort of, shortest route situation. But when all the cars go down there, there's not really many options. So it's just a guessing game for really. Trying to figure out the line there is difficult. And, I'm pretty sure every driver in this race messed up 1 or 2 times there. So, like I mentioned before, once you're like P5, P6, P7, somewhere in the back, it's just impossible to really try and like just hang back there and wait for something to happen. You have to kind of be up there and just hope for the best. I know not everyone takes that stance, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was definitely, yeah, definitely. It looked like a lot of decisions on where you had to be, where was the preferred place to be, depending where you were, of course, on track. But like you said, I mean, you survived this. I think that's going to be the name of the game. Say, it should be honestly a really good points night for you as well. There with Nick's troubles. Say Craig had a little issue at the very end, dropped him a couple spots as well. So say we'll bring you a lot closer into it. So after time, I think we got 3 more to go. So say it's definitely not all said and done yet for the title as well. So
it's been tricky for sure. The last few races, you know, like I was in contention for the last couple of races, and things just happen, you know. So you know, it happens to everyone, and happy I was able to kind of be on the viewing side of that this time rather than the you know, getting the into the incidents and stuff.
Nah, yeah, so yeah, definitely did what you had to do tonight there. Like I said, get that good runner-up spot. Of course, I mean, you always wanted to get the win, but yeah, in the grand scheme of things, a great result tonight. So definitely want to give you the floor, though. For
you know, long as he is, he's probably been here a lot longer, and he's been fighting and pushing for a win for a long time. He's a deserved winner tonight. You know, like he played the strategy right. He had the right pit strategy. He needs to get himself onto the top step of the podium here to get some confidence and stuff. He's a really great guy. You know, I'm really happy that he pulled it out tonight. If there's anybody that I wanted to beat me tonight, it'd be him. So, congrats to Jeff on the win. Other than that, thanks to you and thanks to Matt and Jim for all they do for this league. And thanks to all the competitors that came out tonight. Let's see how this championship goes. It's definitely kind of spiced up a bit after this finish tonight. So we'll see.
All right, man. Yeah, great job. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to get. Like I said, yeah, it's always fun to see those. I went to double check the stats, and you're right. It looks like first time Area 51 winner as well. So it's gonna be a very happy interview with him here shortly. So yeah, so great job though tonight, Andrew. Look forward to seeing you the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely, and have fun with Jeff. Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a good time with him. He was kind of messing with Matt and I there, so we kind of had a little thing going on right before the end of the race, so it was a good time.
All right, great job tonight, Andrew. We'll chat soon, I'm sure.
Yep, catch you guys later. Thanks.
All right, so we're going to bring in our race winner tonight, and that is going to be that number 18 of Jeff Highsong. And I had to go double check because I didn't believe it when I saw it, and so I go back and I look, and this is indeed Area 51 win number 1 for you, Jeff. And I mean, this was a one that you had to fight for tonight. I mean, you get caught up in that early incident, not of your own doing, just wrong place, wrong time, get trapped a lap down for, I think, at least half the race. And then just finally get the break you needed there midway to get your lap back, and then from there, I mean, you took advantage of it and did everything you had to do there to hold on and get the win there. And I mean, that last restart, nobody had anything for you there as well. So, so probably a pretty good feeling there for kind of doing a little bit of everything there to be able to pull off the win here tonight.
Yeah, there was a lot going on that whole race. I felt like I had a fast hot rod there, but that first wreck kind of put me back. I had an issue getting into my pit stall, so it was a complete mess. And then, yeah, I was fighting with Craig there for the lucky dog and got a little bit loose, had an incident, and then kind of just had to hope and pray that there'd be another yellow that let me get my lap back.
Yeah, Jeff, it's been a very eventful first half for you, and then the second half, you kind of just had to, roll it back to sleep, roll it back, and get everything under control, and you got a little bit lucky. Where'd you come from, man? It was a crazy race for you, and then you had the late restart. The guys behind you decided to battle really, really hard. Were you worried about anybody in particular when the last restart was happening?
So, I mean, I was worried about Wood and Wagner back there for sure, but I mean, I was telling myself I was winning or wrecking. That was what was going to happen there in the last 5 or so laps.
Yeah, so it's always fun to bug your buddies and stuff like that. And I mean, and that's the thing is, I mean, you never know how these races are going to go and the strategies, which one's going to be the right one and all that. But I mean, yeah, it was, like I said, there was so much going on. What was going to be the right call, win, and pit strategies and all that. At one point, it looked like the early pit was going to be the way to go, possibly to win the race. And then that caution comes out on the pit exit for one of the drivers. So it's like, and then I mean, that completely just shook up everything. Where I'm assuming, of course, that puts you in the lucky dog spot. And then with that, though, all those other drivers having to take the wave around, you basically restart this race in about, I think it was 3rd position. I mean that's a huge jump there. I think you gained about 10 spots in that whole little cycle right there. Is that one of those things where it's like, okay, kind of pinch yourself, like, did that actually just happen?
No, yeah, I was talking with Peterson, and I was just like, and I looked, and I'm like, wait, I'm net P3. I was like, what happened here? And I was honestly really lucky about that caution because I was coming to pit road the next lap. I got into my box with about 0.1 in the tank, so it was kind of a little stressful situation there. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that one.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'd say it was literally the leader of the race at the time. I think it was the 47 of Joseph Grijalva. He was literally turning into pit road when that caution came out before he made that sharp right to get back out on track. So I mean, yeah, there was definitely some close calls with the timing of that yellow. It was wild, man. But honestly, like I said, I mean, like I said, well deserved. Obviously, right off the bat. I mean, Andrew, that was kind of the first thing he went to. How excited he was for you to get the win here tonight as well. So I definitely want to give you the floor here for any thanks and shouts for maybe anybody watching for your win here this evening.
Big shout out to all the guys racing. They're great. They're all class acts. Shout out to the Discord guys. A big shout out to my family, my wife, my mother-in-law, my boys, Aiden, Jeffrey, and Noah. They're my huge support system. They get me through this. And then you guys for doing such a great job and giving us a good thing to watch.
It's a pleasure to do. So you guys make it easy. When we put races on like you did tonight, it was definitely a fun one for us to be a part of. It's one of those things where sometimes you just like, man, I want to just get in there and race with you guys. But yeah, that was so much fun though. So great job tonight. Well, I'm gonna go drag you back over to Matt so you can give him a little bit more grief here. But yeah, go enjoy yourself, go celebrate with the boys, and we'll look forward to seeing you get up here some more.
Hey, thanks. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, so while we watch that 18 do some burnouts, we have been able to hunt down our third place finisher in that number 60 of Joseph Morales. So we're going to pull Joseph on in because I didn't want to rob him of a podium finish interview as well. Because, I mean, Joseph also our highest climber tonight, gaining 12 spots into that third spot. And, I mean, that last restart, you restarted in second, and then it's like you kind of look in your mirror, and it just looked like you're just going to get picked on from anywhere and everywhere, from Andrew, from Craig, from Matt. I mean, you're kind of in a hornet's nest there at the end, but you're able to put yourself in a good spot there and still bring it home at top 3. I mean, just take us through the race, take us through kind of the way everything unfolded for you to kind of get you into that opportunity here to get that result tonight.
Well, the first part of the race, I was looking more towards on the fuel side, and everything went well until we had that first caution, and I got caught all that down, but we got back on the lead lap, and we were good that way. And that happened on the second caution as well. So once that happened on the second caution, I just figured, okay, I'm going to split this last stage in the middle and pit from there.
I mean, and it did seem like the short pit was working pretty well because we noticed a few drivers that pitted early looked like they had actually kind of gapped a few guys that went a lot later. But then, yeah, like you mentioned, of course, then the timing of the caution on the final one kind of traps a bunch of guys a lap down. You take the wave rounds to get back on the lead lap, and then I believe it was I'm trying to remember which caution it was exactly, but then yeah, you basically get to the main pack there, and you're right there in the thick of it. I mean, how much were you trying to figure out where to position your car to try to make those moves at the end to kind of try to see if you could put yourself in a good spot there? Or is it one of those ones where it's just like, you know what, just run where you're comfortable and kind of see what everybody else does around you? I mean, just I'm curious to see, yeah, like kind of what's the game plan there? Because, I mean, I know these cars have so much in-car adjustments to make. I mean, how do you kind of account for clean air, dirty air? How do you do all that on the fly at 220, whatever you're doing here?
Honestly, I look at the guys in front of me and I see where they're going, and I try my best at certain parts of the track to get some clean air before I go in, especially in 3 and 4 here. I was able to go low quite a bit, and it actually held, and I was able to make up a lot of time at the bottom. So that was really helpful. And then I think it was about 20 to go. We had another caution, and I was like the last car or second to last car in the lead lap. So I came in and got tires, and that's what really helped me towards the end.
Joseph, congratulations on the third place finish. Looking at how the race was kind of playing out, as soon as you guys kind of crossed that 20 lap threshold, it seemed like people were starting to slip out of the corner and really get some bad movements right out of 4. When you were racing up there, were you thinking, you know, I got fresh tires, these guys got a little bit older tires. When I do this restart, I can kind of just gun it and see what I have at the end of the race?
I thought about it, but then I thought I'm really going to need these tires just in case we are not going to go green all the way, and I don't want to have to pit again. So that's what I ended up not doing, was staying out. I was in third position and I was good there. I knew the guys behind me were going to be coming strong, and I just rolled the dice and figured if we had one or two that got clipped into each other because they were racing that hard, that we would benefit from that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like all the strategies. I mean, it seems like you pretty much had it down to perfection tonight. Let's say, because like I said, I mean, like you said, it got caught out by the one caution, but then yeah, it kind of adjusted your strategy on that and worked out in your favor there at the end. But yeah, I wanted to make sure we pulled you in too, because I mean, like I said, it was a great result, highest climber as well tonight. So I'd say you were able to knock off a bunch of check boxes there in the race here this evening. So yeah, just definitely a well run race here tonight, Joseph. Definitely want to give you the floor though for any thanks and shouts for that podium tonight.
I appreciate everybody in the league and all the drivers. I was lucky tonight. I think I avoided everybody else, and I was as clean as I could be, and that was great. I want to thank everybody who runs the league, Matt and Jim. I want to thank you guys, and you guys do an awesome job. It's fabulous, and you know, we're just a one car team over here, and we have a good time. So I think third place podium. I think we might hit the sizzler.
That sounds like a good time to me, Chris. So, I'll say we don't want to keep you late from that one. So maybe we'll see if we can find you afterwards as well. But yeah, no, great job though tonight, Joseph. Looking forward to seeing what you got for these final 3 races. But yeah, go enjoy this one, and we'll catch you again soon, man. Great job.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
All right, Chris, that is our 3rd place finisher there in that number 60 of Joseph Morales. We were able to catch him before he headed off to that sizzler tonight, but man, that, I mean, like I said, it's like there was fuel mileage involved initially that people were talking about, and then the caution kind of changed that one. Then the timing of a yellow trapping drivers a lap down, and then of course that later yellow where it's kind of a similar situation where it definitely kind of changed the way things are looking, and then just that all out brawl there to the end there. I mean, that was a little bit of everything tonight. That was an exciting one.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to have this type of race when we first started. I think we had 8 cars finish on the lead lap. A lot of cars that kind of got out. And obviously, in the last couple laps, we had a couple more. But just the race in general was excitement from start to finish. It was very eventful from the front to the back. I you know, some guys had some really unlucky strategies, a couple bad wrecks. I was really rooting for Luis at the end there. Had a couple people in chat room for him too. Thank you guys for watching. And Gael, I definitely love this league, man.
It's fun. These things are a handful. They make it look easy, and that's the crazier part about it too, is how straightforward. They're like, oh yeah, we do this and this, and they make it look so easy when it's anything but. You're right though. Yeah, some great people in the league, like you said, some great viewers as well. So you had a lot of Joseph Grijalva fans. I'll say that was awesome to see you all on here cheering. And then yeah, like you said though, definitely gutted for Luis as well as Joseph there. I mean, they were having a great fight there at the end. Just like I said, just that, like, I mean, we talked about just one little mistake, and unfortunately that threw both their chances out the window. So that's I think just going to bring him back, make him hungrier for more though the rest of the way. So Chris, always I say love having you in here, man. I really appreciate you hopping in here kind of late notice to help me out there, be my second set of eyes and be able to kind of have me have some fun with this one. Because yeah, it's a lot of fun doing these with you. And yeah, everybody else that's been watching, again, thank you all so much for the support. We got 3 races to go on the Indy Series after tonight: Pocono, Twin Ring, Motegi, and Phoenix. And of course, playoffs going to start continuing up on Thursday for the Super Speedway Truck Series. I believe, actually, let me double check our schedule, Chris. I think they might actually be taking this one off that way for the 4th of July weekend for all 3. I'll say, so I don't want to give you bad info here, folks. And
hey, that's fine. They can get some more sizzlers.
That's right. Yeah, June 30th, we will actually be off. So yes, so we will be taking a small break. Actually, so yeah, so we'll be back on air on Tuesday night for the Indy cars once we bring that back. So we'll be off Thursday, Sunday, and Monday for the 4th of July weekend. So we'll be back on Tuesday to kick things back off with Indy cars. So basically, you're stuck without us for a week. So find something else to do. But like I said before, though, I hope you all have a very happy and safe 4th of July. Just the main thing is come back with all the fingers and toes that you started the weekend with. So yeah, I hope you all have a very happy and safe weekend. And Chris, like I said, a pleasure doing this. So yeah, so everybody stay safe. Take care, and we'll see you all in a week.